Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to episode number 981 of NoDQ Video. Only 19 episodes to go until 1,000. Thank you guys for your continued support of NoDQ Video. As a reminder, August 16th will be episode number 1,000. Tell a friend, anybody you know who watches wrestling, please have them check out this video. With that being said, let's get to your questions. We have a lot of topics to cover. This has been a busy week already and looks to be a busy week in the coming days. So let's get started with the first one, which comes from S. Hey Aaron, hope all is well. Same to you. Did you hear the tape of what happened between Paige and Del Rio at the airport? Sounded serious. I did hear it because I posted it on NoDQ.com, and I would not post something without listening to it, of course. I think the whole thing is very sad, and I'm hoping that Paige can break away from El Patron. Obviously, this relationship is not healthy, and fans have felt this way for months. We've seen all the warning signs that something is not right with these two, almost since day one, going back to the summer of 2016. There's been a lot of drama with Del Rio / El Patron and Paige. And now we're getting accusations by Paige's brother that he's beating her. It's a relationship that needs to end. I think we're all aware of that. And hopefully somebody can talk some sense into Paige before things take a darker turn. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants to see something tragic happen. So hopefully somebody can get through to her and this situation will resolve as peacefully as possible. But right now, the whole thing is very sad, and now they cannot deny it anymore because this audio tape came out. We know that there's problems with these two. There were reports a few weeks ago about them breaking up. They denied it. They denied that there were problems, but now it's obvious something's going on. There were suspicions before, but now more and more information's coming out, and it's just a very sad situation, like I said. And I got this one here from Sean T. Flick. After rebranding and trying to clean up their image, should GFW release Alberto? His talent doesn't outweigh his antics. On one hand, I feel bad for GFW because they tape all these shows in advance, and that's the downside to doing it. You're saving money, yes, but at the same time, if something happens behind the scenes, you're pretty much screwed because you have 5-6 weeks of television already taped and there's only so much editing you can do. Should they release him and relinquish the title from him? I would say yes, and not just because of the Paige thing. You know, a lot of that is just accusations and we really don't know all the details about that. We don't know El Patron's side of the story. Maybe he has something he can defend himself about. I don't know. Although I'm not going to ever justify a man hitting a woman. I think that any person that does that, you know, even if a woman is being physically violent towards you, you get away from them. You don't hit them back. But, you know, that's a whole other topic. Regarding El Patron and TNA / GFW, let's just look at a different angle of this besides the Paige thing. El Patron has not been handling the WWE departure very well. I think it makes the company GFW look really bad when you have El Patron going on social media, constantly ranting on WWE, doing these drunk Periscope videos, and challenging Triple H to a fight at his restaurant in San Antonio. Stuff like this is really childish. He's a 40-year-old man acting like a 15-year-old. And it's not good for GFW's reputation. He is representing the company. He is the world champion. He should be acting like a world champion and not like a teenager. They have him there because he is a former WWE star, and TNA / GFW has never really been able to make their own stars, so they have to rely on other people, but they need to cut him loose. I mean, he is, like you said, he's more trouble than he's worth in terms of value. He's not really doing anything to get more people invested in the product. Just looking at that match with Lashley at the pay-per-view Slammiversary, let's ignore all the personal stuff with El Patron. The match I thought was just okay. It did not feel like a main event caliber match. It felt like any match you would watch on free television. That's how I felt about it. I feel El Patron is absolutely nothing special. He hasn't really shown anything on the mic other than dropping F-bombs on WWE. Wow, that's impressive. I just feel whatever they're paying him, it's not worth it. I would definitely say cut him loose, just for the fact that he's making the company look bad with his anti-WWE rants, just on that alone. Got this one here from Patrick. Longtime fan, first time asker. For this year's SummerSlam, what would be your ideal card leading up to it? That's a great question. I mean, looking at the main event picture, I've said this for months. I think WWE should just go through with Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, do the big rematch at SummerSlam, not wait until WrestleMania. I would do that. I would have liked to have seen Bayley versus a heel Sasha Banks, but as I've been talking about for months, they dropped the ball on that a long time ago, and I don't know if it can be salvaged. I would have liked to have seen AJ Styles versus Randy Orton for the WWE title, but again, WWE went in a different direction. They decided to go with the Jinder Mahal push, whatever, and it's likely we're getting John Cena versus Mahal. Not a big fan of it, but I understand why WWE's doing it, or probably will do it, so they can book the USA hero John Cena winning the 17th world title in New York City, Brooklyn, and make a big deal out of that, whatever. But yeah, those three matches would have been my top three for SummerSlam, and I would have liked to have seen something. I'd love to see the Hardys become broken at SummerSlam. So it doesn't really matter who they face. I'd like to see the Hardys go completely broken at SummerSlam in Brooklyn. And Brooklyn is more the hardcore fan base. The reaction would be off the charts. I mean, just on Raw, the little teases for it. I'd love to see the Hardys go fully broken at SummerSlam. I would have liked to have seen maybe American Alpha get back into the title picture at SummerSlam. American Alpha versus the Usos. I mean, I've talked about this before, how I'm sick of the New Day. I'd like to see the New Day break up and have a match at SummerSlam, a triple threat, something like that. So those are some of my matches. What do you guys think? What matches ideally would you like to see at SummerSlam? Not matches you think are going to happen, but matches that you personally would like to see at SummerSlam. Leave a comment on NoDQ.com. I'll respond to you and give you my thoughts. This one comes from Mr. Yuck. Will the Wyatts and Rollins feud continue into SummerSlam, and who even benefits in the end of their rivalry? I think it's over. I'm hoping it's over because I think this feud has been a dud between the two of them. They had the rematch on Raw. Bray Wyatt won again, which was cool. I like that because it wasn't 50-50 booking. Bray Wyatt actually got 2 back-to-back wins on Seth Rollins. Great. End the feud. Move on for both guys. It's looking like that is the case. It's looking like Rollins is going to get involved with the Dean Ambrose and Miz storyline, so at least they're changing that up a little bit. I'm still not a fan of Ambrose and the Miz feuding, but if you're going to do something with Ambrose and Rollins, that at least adds a little bit more intrigue and changes things up. Maybe a Shield reunion, even though Ambrose said stay away from me to Rollins and said there would not be a Shield reunion. I mean, to me that's carny for, yeah, it's going to happen. Maybe Roman Reigns will get involved in either at SummerSlam if WWE decides to go with a different match for Brock Lesnar. Maybe they'll do a Shield versus Miz-Taraj match either at SummerSlam or the next pay-per-view, No Mercy. I could see that as a possibility. But yeah, I think that feud is over, and I'm happy about that. Maybe Bray Wyatt goes on to face Finn Balor, like we originally thought was going to happen several months ago. Got this one here from Mushu. What does it accomplish having Enzo basically squashed? What a waste. It is what it is. The objective of the storyline between Enzo and Big Cass was for Big Cass to get his big push and become a major star and start the ball rolling on that. Big Cass is WWE's current pet project. Enzo is not on the priority list. That's just the way it is. And I would have liked to have seen a longer feud between those two, but realistically, I mean, it is a mismatch. When you see those two guys get in the ring one-on-one, everyone's going to expect the bigger guy to win. So there's only so much you can do with that feud, but maybe they could have stretched it out to a second match. Enzo was not on Raw this week. There's been different opinions about what should be done with him. Some feel maybe he should go into the 205 Live Cruiserweight division so he can be separate from Cass. Maybe have Cass go to SmackDown. There's been a lot of different ideas being thrown around, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not sure what else I can say about it. I'm hopeful that Enzo will be pushed when he comes back and they do something significant with him. I mean, I think he has the potential to go far in WWE. It's just unfortunate that he had to be sacrificed, but they had to do that feud. They had to have at least one match. So whatever. I'm not sure what else to say about it. Got this one here from Nathan Hawks. Do you see the New Day splitting up anytime soon? And if so, how would you like to see it go down? Well, as I just mentioned a few minutes ago, I'd love to see the New Day break up ASAP and have a match at SummerSlam. Triple threat in Brooklyn, since that is where they won the tag team titles and went on to have their record-breaking title reign as champions. I think that would be a very fitting place to do it in Brooklyn. I'm just sick of the New Day. I'm sick of the act. I think it's gone on too long now. I think they have passed their peak. But then again, if you break them up, you risk the guys getting lost in the shuffle. So that's one argument to keep them as a group in. Of course, the merchandise selling, but that did not stop WWE from breaking up Enzo and Cass. You would think that Big E might have some potential as a single star, and WWE might want to go somewhere with him. But it's all about timing. Maybe they feel the timing's not right. And one argument I could say against breaking them up right now is WWE is already breaking up a bunch of tag teams, Enzo and Cass, and it looks like the Hype Brothers are going to be breaking up. And if that's the case, then you need some tag teams, which would be an argument to keep the New Day around as a team for the time being. I'd love to see a triple threat match, though, at a big pay-per-view. If not SummerSlam, maybe do it for WrestleMania and start building towards that. That's something I would like to see. This one comes from Javier Reyes. When Tommaso Ciampa comes back, can you see him winning the NXT title and then have Johnny win the belt at TakeOver Brooklyn? I'm assuming you're talking about TakeOver Brooklyn in 2018 and not this year's Brooklyn, because Ciampa will not be back anytime soon. He will not be back until 2018, which is really unfortunate because the feud is going to be very much cooled off by then. Now, I remember Marty Jannetty, after he got attacked by Shawn Michaels, they did not continue their feud until like 9 months later. Jannetty showed up towards the end of 92, almost a full year after he got thrown through the barbershop window. So it's not like it cannot be done, where you cannot bring back Ciampa and have him resume his feud with Johnny Gargano. You can absolutely do that, 8-9 months after the turn happened. I just think the longer time that goes by, the less impact it's going to have. But I could see that match happening sometime early next year and maybe being for the NXT title. By then I think Rude will be on the main roster, and the door might open up for one of those guys to step in and be the face of NXT. But I can see this feud being huge in 2018 and being the top feud in NXT. They did such a hot angle, and hopefully it doesn't cool off too much. They can they can pick right up where it left off when Ciampa returns from injury sometime in early 2018. This one comes from Aaron Rift equals awesome, another guy who knows how to get his questions answered. I know it's early, but how would you book the Royal Rumble? Also love the cat videos. Well, thank you for that. For those of you that want to check out the cat videos, you know, sometimes they appear in these videos, but I have a whole channel with tons of cat videos. YouTube.com/Aaron Rift, my personal YouTube account. Check that out. Cheap plug right there. Now, to answer your question about the Royal Rumble, I actually have a prediction and something I would like to see, and I think there's a decent chance of it happening. You know, some years I say it's too early to say, but I think you gotta go with somebody new this year. I'm tired of the same established stars winning the Rumble, whether it's John Cena or Randy Orton. It just seems like every year it's an established star winning. Roman Reigns, well, Roman Reigns was a rising star, so that's different. Batista's the one I was thinking of fairly recently. I'd love to see a guy like AJ Styles or Nakamura win. I would go with one of those two, in fact. I'd love to see either AJ or Nakamura win the Rumble and then challenge the other one for the WWE title at WrestleMania. So that is what I would like to see happen, and I'm hoping that there's a decent shot of that happening for WrestleMania. To me, that makes perfect sense. No need in having Cena or Reigns win it again. Go with somebody like AJ or Nakamura for the big feel-good moments of the Royal Rumble. People are very satisfied with the conclusion, and you can build up that dream match, AJ Styles versus Nakamura at WrestleMania. This one comes from Seth K. Did WWE ever think about banning Rollins' buckle bomb move? Maybe they should after Balor and Sting got hurt. This is a great question because WWE has banned dangerous moves in recent years, including Samoa Joe's Muscle Buster, which was really weird because after the Tyson Kidd injury happened, Joe was still using it in NXT for several months, and then when he came to the main roster, it was banned. So that was really weird. You would think that this would be a company-wide thing. Why would they allow it in NXT and not the main roster? Maybe you know, the left side doesn't know what the right side's doing sometimes. I don't know. The whole situation's really weird with that. And yeah, the buckle bomb, the logic there, you would think that after the second injury, you know, with Sting, that's one thing. Sting probably shouldn't have been taking a bump like that at his age. But somebody who's young like Finn Balor getting injured like that, maybe that's a sign it's too dangerous of a move. So I'm not sure what the deal is, but you know, I'm not sure sometimes why WWE bans certain moves and doesn't ban others. I mean, it's really hard to say unless you're actually there in the company making the decisions. You know, who knows? That's something you would have to ask somebody like Triple H why that move is not banned. Got this one here from Nicholas. What's with WWE using rap and hip-hop songs for the bigger pay-per-views? The easy answer to this question is WWE wants to use trendy music for the pay-per-views. WWE is trying to attract the casual fans, you know. For the NXT shows, Triple H knows his audience. He knows the hardcore wrestling fans like the heavy metal, like the harder rock songs, so he uses those songs for the NXT events. When it comes to a show like SummerSlam or WrestleMania, WWE is looking to the wider audience, casual fans, women, teenagers, kids, and they want to go with the hip, trendy songs. And unfortunately, rock music and hard rock music, metal, that's not in right now. It's all about the club music and the hip-hop R&B, the hippin' and the boppin', all that stuff. That's what's popular right now in music pop culture. And that's the kind of music WWE uses for the pay-per-views to draw in those casual fans. That'll wrap it up for this edition of NoDQ Video. I hope you guys enjoyed, including me saying hippin' and boppin'. If you enjoyed today's video, again, please share it with a friend on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. Anybody you know who watches wrestling, have them check out this video. they might find something informative about it, and hopefully they'll become regular viewers. I mean, that's the goal. Word of mouth, getting more people to check out the videos. If you guys think I do a good job, that's the best way you can support the site and the videos. Spread the word. I will see you guys soon. Got more videos coming up this week. A lot of topics to cover. So it's going to be a busy week. It's going to be an active week on the YouTube channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. youtube.com/AaronRiffNoDQ. Stay tuned for Pop and the 10-year anniversary special for Talk Wrestling. That's coming up with Jeff Meacham later this week. Stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys next time.